everybody. Welcome back to another midweek moment. So how many of you have a watch that has some sort of a step tracker on it? I want you to just take a moment as you're watching this, just look, how many steps do you currently have? See, right now I have 6,200 steps, and usually I have a certain goal in the day to get somewhere between 10 and 15,000 steps. Now, I'll probably hit that again today, but I want you to think for a moment about the steps that we take, and even the steps that our kids take, because steps are a big deal for kids. You remember back maybe when you were raising your kids and all of a sudden they start crawling around and then they're walking along furniture and then they take that first step and you're so proud of them. But in your gut, you also knew something. You are in trouble because now they are mobile. Now they are on the go. And it's hard to stop them from taking steps to places where maybe they shouldn't be going. But you try. I mean, when your kids are young, you take their hand and you hold on to them. Maybe when you get to those unfamiliar places or where you want to make sure they don't get hurt, and so you're walking across the street and they're holding your hand. But then inevitably, your kid gets to that age where they don't want to hold your hand anymore. Some of you have reached that point. It's like, oh man. It was nice when they wanted me to hold their hand and guide them along. But as a parent, eventually you have to relinquish that control. And what do you have to do? You have to trust. Trust your child. But even more than that, and this is my encouragement for you this week, you have to trust the Lord. Because the way that we live our lives is one step at a time with Jesus. That's faith. To trust that God is going to guide our children and our grandchildren forward as they make decisions in life. So when I was confirmed, our confirmation hymn was, "Oh, that the Lord would guide thy ways." And there's a line in the hymn that says, "Order my footsteps by thy word and make my heart sincere." And that's really, that's my prayer for my life, that God would guide me in the steps that I take, that God would now guide my children in the steps that they take, and to know that Jesus is the one who, even when sometimes we're walking away from him, Jesus is the one who walks toward us. Jesus is the one who takes those steps to the cross for us. So this week, let me just invite you to live out those words of 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. We walk by faith and not by sight. We don't always know what lies ahead of us. We don't always know what lies ahead for our kids. But we take one step at a time, trusting Jesus. So as you rack up the steps for today, whether you get to 10,000, 15,000, more or less, may each step you take be one that you walk with the Lord, knowing that he is walking with you. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you again next time.